Okay, so I hope you are all ready because I finally managed to get my hands on the HyperX Cloud Alpha to let you know what I think of them. And to be completely honest with you, even to my surprise though, I don't fully agree with all the overly positive reviews, neither from reviewers nor from actual owners. Because there is one important thing I think they are all missing: the whole picture. And that was also the main reason why I'm working at the moment on a comparison of the 4 best, or let's say my most favorite headphones that I can easily recommend. And yes, the HyperX Cloud Alpha will be one of those. But still, there are a lot of things that you should know that you maybe didn't get anywhere else, and some more, especially in comparison with the competition, is what you will get in my comparison. But today it's all about these first, and these, by the way, are the HyperX Cloud Alpha, and that's its, I think, definitely legit predecessor, the HyperX Cloud 2, which I will also include in my comparison, because it's not just that they look very similar, they are very similar in many ways, but more about that, like I said, in the comparison. About the headphones, what's included? First of all, we get this 1.4 meter long cable with the remote control to change the volume and also to mute the mic. But one thing that's definitely improving from last time is that the cable now is detachable. It's not a twist and lock system, but it's a very stiff one. But in case you maybe stumble somewhere, it will actually just pull out, which is very nice to see. The cable's quality is absolutely nice in my opinion. Very nice, soft braided cable. And in case you want to use them at your PC, there is also a 2 meter long extension with the 2 plugs for the microphone and the headphone. The quality is pretty much the same, so let's just get rid of that because we don't need this anymore. And like already on the Cloud 2, we still have pretty much same looking, but it's not the same microphone. Still very flexible, but it's definitely not the same in terms of quality, but you will see that in comparison and also demo later on just about this one. So let's take this off and cover the headphones themselves. I definitely like the design. It's very lightweight. It actually feels good for its overall appearance, and I definitely like the design a lot. Here with the nice, what should be fake leather, nice stitching, very high quality though overall. Feels really great. Here we have some soft touch plastic. This is also plastic, but it looks very nice here with the cables. We have enough wiggle room, so it should definitely fit, but they don't maybe rotate or fold or something like that, but I don't think that should be an issue. So all is good here. One thing that I think is a little bit too loose is the actual adjustment system, because actually by accident sometimes if it's on your head you won't change it, but if you just maybe put it somewhere it could change. So this could have been a little bit stiffer, but it's fine. Now about the ear cups, I have to say what I like the most is maybe that they are so soft. So top soft, and actually the size may be more support, because I'm someone who's super picky when it comes to ear cups touching my ear. Not an issue here at all. Absolutely top. It fit very well. It's also deep enough, big enough in all dimensions, so I'm good with that. Of course, your ears will sweat a little bit since it is leather, and you don't have the velour option like you had on the Cloud 2. The padding here on the top, as you have seen, I just changed it by the way. The headband also super nice and thick cushion. So let's just put them on and let me tell you what I think of them. So, first of all, clamping force, absolutely not an issue. And I would actually say they feel, in terms of comfort and fit, like 95% like the HyperX Cloud 2. Actually, the HyperX Cloud 2 fit me a little bit better, but super soft, not a whole lot of clamping force, but still secure, nice padding, even though you feel the actual headband on your head, but since it's softly dampened, it's good. Also on the sides, nothing touches. Very comfortable. Now, since they are closed back, you definitely have a very nice installation, especially due to the leather. Of course, this will come over a longer period of time if it's warm, especially with a lot of sweat. So I can't judge it yet fully so much since it's the winter right now, but you will sweat. If it will be an issue or a longer period of time, I'm not quite so sure, but comfort-wise, absolutely not, and fit-wise, neither as well. So let's get into the next thing, which would be the microphone. So let's cover that one in the demo.
And this would be the microphone test of the HyperX Cloud Alpha. To be completely honest with you, I expected a little bit more from what I've heard other people saying about it. Because what I like definitely is the flexible arm, because you can position it very well wherever you need it to be, and you can get quite close to your mouth. And the closer you get, the little bit more body you will get to the sound, even though it doesn't make such a difference, like for example on the Biodynamic MX300 or such, but it definitely helps. But if you get too close, of course, you could get some kind of breathing noises, which actually sound very natural and not over the top like you will see right now. And even P sounds are still absolutely fine. One thing that you might maybe hear, I'll try to simulate it, is the cable, but usually that should not be an issue. But the thing that I just don't think is that good is the actual quality, because it sounds a little bit tilly, also a little bit hollow. Overall, the sound is quite clean, and in terms of background hiss, you can see that it is quite good because it's quite a sensitive mic, and it will definitely, don't get me wrong here, be absolutely fine for all sort of multiplayer games, because people will hear it absolutely fine, but it's just not quite on the high quality level, because it could sound just a little bit more high quality, like I said, the tinniness and such on. But otherwise, let's see what it picks up in terms of keyboard noises. And the mouse. So as you can see, it picks them up quite a lot, so not a lot of noise cancellation here, but I guess this is pretty much unavoidable on most headsets anyways. So that's it about the mic.
Okay, so now that you've heard the demo, you pretty much know all I think about it, but like I said, it's not that it's very flexible, but it's the actual quality, the clarity that wasn't all that amazing, but it didn't pick up so many other sounds, so it's still a good one, but not really more. And I've heard so much great things about the microphone, and I'm starting to ask myself why, because I already used a high quality recording device, so that should not be the issue. Now let's talk about Soundstage here. I have to say it's absolutely normal for a closed back, so it's not super wide or big or something like that, and it's absolutely fine. Now, gaming, that's I think the most important part about a gaming headset, and what do I have to say? I have to say that I wasn't fully impressed, just because what I've already heard from the Cloud 2 or from the Sennheiser GSP 300 or something like that, because it doesn't really stand out in anything. It's a very nice balanced sound, and you hear footsteps quite good and actual action effects as well, but there is not something that really exceeds here. There is nothing that really highlights them, because I hear footsteps just about as good as on any other headphone. You can locate them very well, but you can't really hear if something is through a wall or how close it actually is. So don't get me wrong, I'm actually already comparing this with the better ones, like the Sennheiser GSP or the Cloud 2, and even something like the Biodynamic MX300, which of course is like 3 times the price. So don't get me wrong, I'm already talking on a high level. But I expected actually a little bit more of an advantage in shooters like, for example, Counter-Strike, because what it can do is deliver a great gaming experience everywhere. If it's an action game, you will get enough of that, but it's not actually bass heavy headphone, because there are way different alternatives like Logitech or, for example, Razer offers. This is nicely balanced, because you get a good amount of action, but you don't get the deepest bass, but you get enough clarity and distinction to hear all the sounds. Like I said, locating them in terms of direction is fine, but the distance is a little bit harder. So fully fine, but don't expect to have the upper hand just because of these. I don't know what else to say, because I will talk a lot about them later, but let's talk about the actual music quality. Here is where I have to say, once again, like already on the Cloud 2, I like it a lot, because the sounding that they give you here is a really nice, very nicely balanced one in some way, because of obviously fun sound, because we have elevated bass, we have elevated highs with nice mids. And that's why I like it for everything. It doesn't maybe stand out in any particular kind of genre, because it can do dubstep, but don't expect it to be on brutal oomphy bass, because it doesn't extend that much. But it's a quite high quality bass. Highs are clear and good. Vocals, I have to say, just compared to the best headphones out there, which I have reviewed in the last couple of months, I noticed that vocals just don't seem quite as clean, not quite the clarity, and they don't really stand out. Everything is a nice mix all in it together. And for the price of around 100, though, I have to say they do an absolutely fine job. And that's why I already recommended the Cloud 2 so much, which have pretty much the same sound signature. About the qualities you will see in the comparison, but all in all, I have to say that these headphones do a banging job for the price of around 100. But now let's get to the crux and the whole picture that I said many were missing. It's just the fact that after the Cloud 2, that were a legend already, kind of known in the gamer sphere, these ones don't do anything particularly better, because they feel slightly higher quality, just a little bit nicer design. They did change a few things about the microphone, even though I wouldn't quite say they improved it. And the sound signature and gaming experience was super similar. Actually, I have to give it to the Clouds too, just in terms of the overall balance for games, because I heard their steps actually a little bit more precise, and also action elements were a little bit nicer. So that's why I'm not quite sure why everyone is pushing these so much. Either they completely forgot about the Cloud 2 and how great they were, or they just think it's new or it has to be better, which is just not the case. And overall, I will recommend them. But if you plan on upgrading from the Cloud 2 to these, I can definitely assure you don't, because you won't have any advantage of them. You won't feel like you have done an upgrade. It's more of a sidestep, because a few things are different, and I will get into those a little bit more into the comparison, but they don't do anything better. Are they worth the $100? Yes, especially since they come with a few advantages over the Cloud 2. Detachable cable. That's actually already almost it. And they look a little bit nicer, but I honestly have to say I did expect a little bit more. But like I said, the important part is the whole picture, and that one you will get in my comparison, because there I can give you a little bit more of a direct comparison to the direct competitors, or actually something even better like the MX300, and then you can see how these compare to these, and if you should maybe even just pay a little bit more to get something better, if you need that, because like I said, easy recommendation, because all they do very good. And they don't really have any flaws. I did not find anything that I found to be a downside or anything like that. But like I also said, they don't exceed in anything like I expected them to do in some way. That's it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Otherwise, have a nice day. Until next time. Bye.